stupid. She just fell unconscious.
The commoners claim it's our
Serfs and lords will never be on the same side.
Judgment is above their station.
only care how
I
that
believe
ass
it's
is
Hansel's
made.
provocation. He wants to drive a wedge between us.
We'll have to face the entire amount of Tedwin alone.
Oh.
Geralt! It's good to see you.
The commoners claim Stennis is involved in Saskia's poisoning. They're looking to slaughter him.
What's stopping them?
The knights, Adernian noble lords.
Not easy to raise a hand against a blue blood.
A peasant by the name of Calton was at the council. He didn't seem to respect anything or anyone.
Calton's a blackguard. He'll use any excuse to raid and plunder.
He has a taste for noble blood. They say he buries gold looted from the lords in some gorge. Looks like things are getting nasty.
Hear me! What do you want? I'm Skill and Burden. I keep order in Vergen.
Or doing a nice job then? Where was you when they poisoned Saskia?
Give us the prince! Get the flails!
Stop!
Yovath.
Squirrels! Everyone who wants to leave this yard in one piece, keep your hands off your weapons. I don't care if you're a serf or a lord. I'll kill you all if need be.
What's going on?
The servant carrying wine during the feast said that Prince Stennis and Olgan poisoned Saskia. We want justice!
You want revenge. It's not the same thing.
We don't care. Saskia's fallen as if dead, while the poisoning prince and noble lords rush to herd us onto the field and sell us to Henselt. We won't let them!
You lie, Calton. Nobody's being sold out. The poisoner must be caught and tried by law.
Your law? What then? He'll pay a fine and get spanked on his ass? We'll spank him all right, with an axe to the throat!
Where's this servant?
Safe. The Scoia'tael keep an eye on him.
Why is the prince hiding in his house if he's innocent?
Enough! I'll shoot the first to reach for a weapon. Then heads will start falling.
There's more of us. You can't kill every...
Then you'll be first. Now back off! We need to act quickly.
What's your plan?
I'll frighten them a little. Bleed them if need be. I'll buy you some time, but be swift. I can't hold them off for long. Question the peasants and the nobles, and talk to the dwarves. Maybe you can get to meet Stennis.
Even if he's guilty, I'm sure he's prepared a suitable story.
You'll know how to sort the sheep from the goats. Also, find the servant who started talking so suddenly. You won't have time to talk to everyone, though, that's for sure.
Rolling dung, you surly dog! Change your tone.
Say, Witcher, come over here.
What do you want?
We of noble birth always had to protect the plebs from their own stupidity.
I don't have time to listen to... Know anything about the attempt on Sask?
No, I don't. But whatever the truth, the mob cannot lynch one of royal blood.
So truth means nothing to you?
I didn't say I don't care about truth. Just keep in mind there's a world order that mustn't be destroyed.
An order that allows injustice.
If the prince turns out to be involved in this attempted murder, he should face a tribunal.
Or they do understand them and simply don't like them.
Saskia is a wise woman, but there's one thing she doesn't take into consideration. This war will be over one day. Who will sow the crops and milk the cows then? Saskia called the serfs to arms. Do you think they'll want to plough fields again?
You may be right, but it's certainly not my business who'll plough your fields. Farewell.
This is nonsense. What would...
Things look bad.
The noblemen...
They're a coward.
They know their heads will follow.
It's a deadlock, with the prince's guilt still to be proved.
Yarpen says it's someone from Edern. Sheldon, on the other hand, would...
Anyone?
Not even close.
If the rabble slaughters the prince...
That's why...
I'm sure...
Why would Sheldon suspect Henselt?
He'd sooner reach an agreement with Stennis than Saskia.
Zoltan?
I'm wondering how anyone could manage to poison the wine. Saskia's a quick-witted lass. She doesn't let just anyone near. Someone she knew must have done it.
Has Yarpen got any evidence?
No, Yarpen's an old cook and says he's got a feeling.
He might be right with those feelings. After all, not just anyone can pass through the Wraith's mist. It has to be someone local.
So it never crossed your mind that Henselt might have...
Give us this horsepower!
Can we have a word?
Why not?
No thanks.
It is. My goblets are in...
Aye, it was.
Who ordered the goblet from you?
That goblet was a gift. The last, like...
Was the order for a normal...
Not a chance.
The other...
Of course not.
Any chance there...
Why, there's no craftsman that comes close to me in
Could someone have tried to copy your...
Ha! I know of one who's been trying for years, but he's a fumbler, a screw...
See you.
Serfs and lords will never be on the same side.
Humans only care how their ass...
Greetings.
They're playing into Henselt's hands. If they start at each other's throats,
Who
we'll
will
have
the
to face the
witches-
entire amount of Kedwin alone.
I heard. Shut your trap if you don't know what's going on.
Anyone order an exquisitely adorned...
I get the occasional commission for tableware.
Saskia's goblet.
That ugly bucket! Did you intend to offend me?
If she gets a chance to order anything again.
Who will the witches sign?
What?
You better say... Yeah,
The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council.
Oh, shit.
Why flat? Just... What's it?
we... If... Kill... We...
It's not...
Then...
And...
We are...
Joey!
You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but...
He'd gladly get quartered for...
Where's this Will?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords.
Farewell.
Give us this horsepower!
Rolling dung, you surly dog!
Serfs and lords will never be on the same
Commoners
side.
claim it's our
Humans
princess.
only care how...
They're
Such
playing into
judgment is above their
Henselt's
station.
hands. If they start at each other, it's the entire amount of Kedwin alone.
Who will the witches sign?
It's a very good turn.
They say someone cast a spell.
There goes the... What should I...
I've been looking for you.
I don't know, you.
You caused quite a commotion. Afraid of something?
No.
You're lying.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing. Don't know nothing.
Tell me everything you know about the attempt on Saskia's life.
I heard the priest talking with the prince. This goody-goody said the virgin is really a beast under her fair skin.
What priest?
Alcan, the one killed.
So there's no way I can check if you're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave I speak the truth.
What else did you hear? Tell me.
I was putting Saskia's room in order when the priest came to the prince's chamber next door. They wasn't speaking loud, but I heard the priest say, "Just clear the servants from the kitchen." Nothing more. Reverend Alcan, only he could tell you how it was, beginning to end.
The dead aren't very talkative.
What about what they leave behind? There may be clues or some such.
Maybe.
What should I face? Eyes like embers. It raises hands.
They say someone cast a
Lady
spell.
Saskia will defeat Henselt and make...
Who will the witches sign? They say she's dead.
You're stupid. She just fell unconscious.
They lie in wait for their lord and prince. I certainly hope Scalen can clean up this mess.
Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook Henselt, called king by some, Thought that Aedirnians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edirn?
According to Henselt, Upper Edirn is the ancient legacy of the Kedweni crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago the elves reigned here, and 1,000,000 years ago these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighbouring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer Upper Edirn. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want...
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Aedirnians, Kedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen. A beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Vandegrift attacked in the afternoon, he sent the Dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Edirn at all. We decimated the Dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kedwenis gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armour. Then Vandegrift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Vandegrift killed Seltkirk. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell. Fire covered the battlefield. Yes. They say it was the doing of a Kedweni sorceress who wanted revenge on Vandegrift.
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandegrift?
I stood half a furlong from them. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in... Seltkirk was a true knight. Vandegrift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and all... I bet he cut down Seltkirk.
Vandegrift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated...
Remember anything? You captured the Dun banner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Aye, we captured their standard.
I'm going to need that standard. Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful.
Madame Eilhard claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Vandegrift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
Saskia needs help, Cecil.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place... As long as...
Where exactly?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Bergen. There's a place of power there. Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you.
I need to know where Reverend Olkin used to live.
It's about right... See you, Governor.
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station. Adam.
I'll say it again. Humans are strange. Let's hear it. See, when they're to marry, they become terribly picky.
Nothing interesting.
Always in a hurry. You'll
So
have
it's
a
really
stroke.
haunted now.
It is. They should make it a mandatory pilgrimage for young clerics. They truly believe in the afterlife after seeing
Greetings. Sorcerers are a plague
Oh,
force.
Cowwitcher.
Hang them all by the balls and let them
If not for that damned Jorvik...
Serfs and lords will never be on this.
Enough of this charade!
Try to be reasonable, folks.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his op!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why! The mongrel covets the crown!
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her, he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, horse.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
No need to poison the wine. Smearing the poison inside the chalice would be enough.
I never heard of anyone poisoning a chalice.
You haven't heard much then. One of the Emperor's forebears died after sampling some lamb. He was always scared of poison and ate supper with his cook. The murderer spread poison on one side of a knife. Then he cut the meat so that only a small piece was poisoned.
The witch is right. Give us Stennis.
Saskia's got her own chalice.
It was commissioned from one of the dwarves. The order came with a very detailed drawing.
Even so, how did it come into Saskia's hand?
A good point. We can't be sure if the prince poisoned the wine.
Stennis is blowing hot and...
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not in...
Tell us who else would do it. A pig won't cut its own throat.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis's room next to Saskia's? Yes. Is Serene Damed the Prince Khan? Nobody in Vergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
You're wrong, Colton. Reverend Olkin wanted to get rid of Saskia. He thought she was a monster at heart.
Olkin was on Stennis's leash like a dog.
How dare you, lout! Do you imagine if someone sits next to a married lady, he's surely fucking her?
The priest tried to convince Prince Stennis to join the conspiracy.
Is Stennis some dimwit foundling that he dances to a lousy priest's tune? Olcan got what he deserved when Hensel cleaved his head. Now it's Stennis' time.
There is no proof the prince agreed.
The priest asked him for admittance to the kitchen.
So he didn't poison the Virgin himself, but allowed her to be poisoned.
Those are just words. Too much guesswork and not enough evidence. You can't convict anyone based on that.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world.
And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Edern?
Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Edern, can judge me.
Can he? And if Saskia won't get well, who's...
I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
The prince has a right to a fair trial, no matter if he's guilty or not. We can't deny him that. What will the peasants do if we hand them the prince? Will they hear him out? No. They'll hang him from the nearest tree or tear him limb from limb. What will happen if we allow a lynching? What if people see that might makes right? Who'll guarantee they won't desire to avenge their wrongs, real and imagined? Who'll protect people whose only fault is noble birth from the exasperated mob? And where will it lead?
The peasants are furious.
They didn't dare mount a frontal attack.
But they haven't forgotten about Stennis, and won't. It'll be that way until Saskia regains consciousness.
She won't keep order by strength alone.
Unless it's a great strength.
We need an authority figure, and royal blood.
5 courts go to waste in the Dwarven dungeon at the moment.
There's also Henselt.
Going into that haunted mist is madness. Stealing Stennis away would be easier.
No. Anything involving Stennis will cause a riot.
I've had enough of the peasants and nobles barking. Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt's army with this rabble, which is why I'm going to get reinforcements.
Where?
4 Scoia'tael units await in hiding to the east. Time to summon them.
You'll make it in time?
I must.
What's this? Clad in hues of green, amidst shrubs he's seen, crouching, legs bent, catching flies to air.
I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Kidweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
The mist is full of wraiths.
I'll help you. I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell.
We still...
I know. Henselt.
We need his blood, not his death.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm... Who are you?
I'm Cynthia.
My condol...
No need for that. Not like that old...
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. She...
Is...
We're...
That's...
Here...
I'm...
What?
I found Morton Collis's notes.
So, let's see what you've learned.
Well, there are a few documented facts, but Collis notes the existence of plenty of myths and legends.
Very true. Where shall we start?
First and foremost, Collis studied the hunt's movement.
Oh, it's well known that the wild hunt moves north to south.
That's what I remember, and Collis's research confirms it.
The retinue's trajectory brings it into our world at the north.
Collis claims the hunt's appearance can be predicted by observing the Orcan Nebula.
And eclipses affect how often it appears. In any case, it arrives on the winter solstice.
Collis calculated that the hunt slips into our world. When I pursued the hunt, I passed through many abandoned villages.
Well, the wild hunt abducts young people.
What for?
The wraiths might need workers, warriors, or meat.
Collis seems to favor the slave theory. What's the sorceress's take on the hunt?
The topic makes them uneasy.
There's some link between mental spells?
Both addle the brain. You see, the wraiths emit a magnetic field that...
People say the hunt's appearance is an omen of war.
In our times, wars are so frequent, we might even consider flights of honking geese as their harbinger.
Let's summarize.
Based on his observations and calculations of the wild hunt's movements, Collis arrived at two equally important conclusions. The first was that the hunt is made up of knights who perished in various worlds and have reconvened as a retinue of vengeance. His second hypothesis states that an unknown, extremely powerful force multiplies wraiths, whose task is to travel between worlds in search of slaves. Both theories seem probable.
Each time someone runs into the hunt, the wraith's magnetic field causes their mind to descend into chaos. By inference, another meeting with the hunt and its field should reverse the effects of the first.
Perhaps. Someone who lost their memory or their mind on their first meeting with the hunt could recover either on the second meeting. But I'm afraid that's unproved. Anyone who has managed to escape the wraiths would rather die than meet them again.
So, you can lose or recover your memory by meeting the wild hunt.
Do you know something I don't?
I have amnesia, but my memory's been coming back since a certain event.
Since when?
Since I killed a spectre, the king of the wild hunt. Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a...
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly...
Naturally.
You wanted to
Is what they say true?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg. If you want to know the details, remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
I wouldn't mind.
I had a dream. We were in the old days.
I remember you were saying
pale face, eyes like embers.
From one of your vets, lad, eh?
The leader, though clad like a soldier,
Damn, you're ugly. more harp.
Good work!
I gotta admit,
Well, it's hardly done.
I'll hear you out, but
I need a few more
Who is it that needs them?
But he does, of course.
Pretty suspicious. Why didn't you tell me how many I was supposed to bring right off?
I needed to see the quality. Just
let me think about it. I've got some more feathers, sleek and untattered.
I look at them and select the finest. There's your paper.
What am I supposed to do with the ones I have left?
Whatever you wish. I've no need for them. are you headed? Where are you headed? Where are you headed?
Gamers. Assemble.